Well, welcome everyone. We're back. Elissa and I are back with Let's Talk Relationships Coast to Coast. And we're excited today to answer maybe one or two questions that have been presented to us.
Yeah. Yes. Hi, I'm so excited to be back. It's been a little while. So today we're going to address a question, and I put it out there when we posted on Facebook. The first question was, what do I do if my partner does not want to work on the relationship and participate in counseling or a workshop?
That is a common question because many times you get a call and someone wants help with their marriage. And then when it comes to bringing their partner, so well, my partner doesn't think we need help, or they're not in a place where they're just resistant for one reason or another.
Right.
And unfortunately, sometimes when that happens, they won't go to counseling. And then sometimes even months later, I'll get a call from that particular partner that was resistant and say, my partner just decided to leave. What do I do? So it's a difficult issue, because sometimes when a partner is crying out for help, it's because they really want help and their other partner can't hear that, and they're resistant to it. But let's talk about that. What do you do? What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think it's kind of nuanced. It depends on the couple. There's not like one answer fits all. But in some cases, I think that it can be helpful for one person to come in for counseling or even come to a workshop and learn, in a workshop, learn tools, learn some information, bring it back to the relationship. And it's really surprising to most people how safe it is. So I think sometimes people are afraid to come in. They're afraid what they're going to learn, or they're afraid, what if this doesn't work? Then what? So, I think that is totally understandable. But even if one person, so it depends, as I said, it's nuanced, but oftentimes if one person comes in and they're bringing back things that are positive, and they even see their partner in a more positive way, the other person will notice something is better and enjoy that. And, it might open the door to work on it together, or at least make the relationship better. So I think that's one possible way it could go. It depends on the people, of course.
So yes, if one person decides, it's always good to work on yourself, even if your partner's not willing at this point. So that's a good thing. Come, learn some skills and start doing your part. In each relationship, there's always two people who are being triggered in a reaction that's not helpful. So if you can eliminate your side and start to be present for your partner, then that can be very helpful. I know that fundamentally, you alluded to this, the fear. It's when people and when people are afraid of something new like this, the worst thing you can do is try to get them to say yes, because that's just going to increase their no. And none of us like to be told what to do or told not, what not to do. And so the idea of what you want to do in a relationship is be present for another person without an agenda other than being present. So when and I feel like, as a matter of fact, I was hearing Harville Hendricks talk about, he shared about this issue, and he said that for us to remember that resistance is always just fear in action. The best way to get people beyond that is not try to do it overtly, but because you can't take on resistance and dismantle it. But if you accept the resistance because it's simply a person who's afraid of something new, then you respect that. And what happens then, you sort of eliminate the fear or the anxiety of what they don't feel, that pressure.
Yeah.
And so we suggest you use the skills you learn in Imago relationship therapy. Mirror their no, validate their no, and be empathetic about their no, and leave them alone. And with that differentiation, that's called differentiation, where you're allowing them to have their reality and you have your reality. And then you become sort of, you're modeling what you're wanting to to bring to the relationship. So that's a first start. I hope that makes some kind of sense there.
I think it makes a lot of sense. You're saying that you learn the skills, you don't try to, be too overly forceful. You try to really hear them, you mirror them. You're going to learn these skills, validate how they could be uncomfortable. Really don't try to force it. And then that might create some openness. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And I just want to add that I think it's really difficult to do that, what you were suggesting. Of course, that's, where we're going, right? And that's kind of, that's the direction. And I think if just that is going to make a huge difference in the relationship, just being able to have that, as you said, if you can differentiate, if you can let your partner have their thoughts and feelings about it and try not to be reactive and try to mirror it as we would teach, that in itself is huge and would probably create change in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
just what you said. I mean, that is a lot to even that. I just want to just acknowledge that what you said is great. And it's also, that can also create a lot of positive change.
It takes a lot, like you said, it's a lot of work. It involves creating new brain pathways where you become curious rather than reactive.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to our people a little bit, our viewers, Elissa, about the power of positive affirmations, the power of appreciations. I know that sometimes when a partner wants to get their partner into counseling, they're trying to drag them in and they're feeling so negative about the relationship. What can this partner do? You've got a partner who's resistant. What can this person do to change the game in terms of sharing positive appreciations, doing caring behaviors, sort of a regimen, sort of as a prescription for changing the entire climate of the space between them?
Right. There's a lot in what you just said. So for today, maybe we'll just take one part of it, and the next time we can go into a lot more into it, because you talked about the space between, affirmations, caring behaviors. Those are all things that are wonderful to talk about and incredibly helpful. So you asked about how, as opposed to trying to, force our partner to join us at a workshop or in couple therapy, how can we use appreciations to start to shift the energy? And that's what it does. It really shifts the energy. So, what something we teach in the workshops that we're going to be giving are sharing and appreciation. And that is such an important, wonderful dynamic that a couple gets to really experience. First of all, noticing what we appreciate is such a nice thing. Like, here we are noticing what we really appreciate about our partner that's with us. Like, let's think about what we really like about them and just take that in for ourselves, first of all, and then to share that with our partner, how we see them. We see the things that they're doing. We see who they are. It could be a simple thing, what you're wearing, what you're doing. You brought me coffee, who you are, how you parent, all these different things, and how that when we send just one thing and just practice that, it just really can change the energy in such a connected, positive way. So again, it's changing things instead of, being really reactive to being more positive. So we can really thrive.
Well, I agree with that, and I see that has had dramatic impact on changing, like you say, changing the energy. Because keep in mind, even though this partner who wants counseling, trying to get their partner to want to do it, they both have issues that are negative. And so as you change the energy, as you help them share appreciation. So let me just say to you, if you're struggling with this today, try sharing appreciations. Let's start with 3 a day. Just randomly say, one thing I appreciate about you is, and what you'll do is you'll sort of shift the energy from all the negative brain pathways that you feel, all the things you don't like, all the things that aren't happening for you, all the frustrations you have. And you start, that's about only at most 20% of your relationship. There's an 80% out there that you're not seeing, that you can say, one thing I appreciate about you is the way you are with our children, the way you took care of them last night, or the way that you cared about my mom when she was going through this issue, difficulty. So you can start thinking of those things. And then, like you say, Elissa, I love it. You train your own brain to see those things, but by sharing it, you get it out into the space between you. It has an impact, and it really does shift the energy. So let us encourage you today, whatever you are, wherever you are, even if you don't have the struggle, share the appreciations with your partner.
Yeah.
Start with 3 a day. Make it a habit.
Yeah, yeah. And maybe next time we can talk about the space between more, because that's really, yeah.
And how to steward and care for that space between you, keep the negativity out of it. We'll talk about that next time. Well, as always, it's great being with you, Elissa, and we hope that if you're listening today, you received something that was helpful for you to transform your relationship.
Thank you. See you soon.
Bye-bye.